Hey guys, today I'm back with a Fallout 4 survival. So this is going to see if I can beat Fallout 4 on survival mode. I've never done this before, so it's going to be an interesting endeavor. And as you see, I started out naming my character and giving you special stats. Figured if anybody wants to know, I'll show them here. Named him that epic gamer name of Protopian Gamer because, well, gotta rep that channel though. Because, I don't know, I'm just being stupid. But anyway, so we went with a decent charisma, high intelligence build to get pretty fast level ups. And, you know, we also will get the special book so we can put it into any other stat. But we'll probably keep with, you know, just pretty much medium stats. And then you have pretty high intelligence, which will allow you to, go up faster. Now, since I didn't want to show you the whole opening sequence, I'll just show, the big parts. The fun of, well, watching a lovely nuke explosion, just the lovely glow of irradiation slowly destroying world as you know it. Watching people scream and scream and scream and scream and scream, which, yeah, it's pretty hot. A lot of quick action, which, nice, a little bit of dramatic blackout. Now we go to this, which is, being stuck in a cryo tube, watching people just shoot at other people and scream and do, and then look at you awkwardly. So, yep, we get to watch a person who looks like they're wearing a hoodie that they just pulled the strings really tight on, and a bald dude threaten your significant other who's holding a child. And of course, she's talking and you're just like, hey, I hit the glass once, can you come get me out? I've needed to pee for 4 years. So, anyway, going on. So now you get to watch this whole ordeal that actually pretty much just makes that dude, the bald dude, completely useless. But now, we see the significant other get shot, and we get to see the pistol that we'll steal later on from his corpse, but that's obviously something that I intend to do. I mean, well, quite frankly, Fallout's old enough, you'll figure out where this goes. He just killed our wife. I intend to get my gun back. So, it is my gun now. My gun. So, anyway, now we get to actually go to, the whole video game part of the game instead of just like a video and walking simulator. Because I know I might seem sarcastic, but I really do not like the opening sequence just because it's just so slow, and if you've already played, it's great the first time you play it, and if you take time to enjoy it, it can be fun for a little while, but when you're somebody like me who goes through and basically analyzes everything the first couple times through, it gets boring by the 45th time you've done it. So, as you see, I attempt to go and actually change it to survival here, but I accidentally hit no because I thought it was going to take me to some hint book, or it's going to take me to help. So, I did not do very smart there. I did a dumb, but I did fix it later, so don't worry, I didn't go like this through this whole video not playing survival, and then be like, oh yeah, survival challenge. So, of course, we sit there and slowly watch the ice break off and go see our significant other steal a ring, and which we'll probably sell later, and go actually now do put it on survival because I realized, wait a second, something isn't right here. Now, I hit the right button, and we're off to the races. So, I'm not too worried about the vault right now, it's going to be pretty easy to go through. I know most of the enemies here, and I don't think any of them have some, crazy change in survival. Now, luckily we do get a weapon right here, and also, I am going to take this a little slower than I usually do, because I know things like, I can get purified water here, which is a lot bigger thing in, trying to think of it, survival mode than it is in any of the normal settings. So, I will take this a little slower than I would if I was just like doing a different build or doing lore videos. I would definitely be a lot faster if I was trying to go somewhere else for a lore video, but anyway. So as you see, we start taking out the rad roaches, and here's the one thing that I'm so glad I remembered before I left, is that you can fill up bottles of water. As long as you have empty bottles and are near a fresh water source, you can fill up bottles. So my plan is hopefully to go get enough bottles to where I can at least get, a stash large enough to keep me going for the early game of Fallout until at least I can build a water purifier or something of that, and just, you know, be able to support myself, which will be good. So I go through and look for all the bottles I can find. I don't exactly go through the whole place. I just go through this one area because, you know, there's actually like 80 beer bottles. These people had a problem. Yeah, I know there's like a lot of scientists, but seriously, these people need to either clean up their stuff or something, because they were not. Something ain't right here when you just have that much. So anyway, so we're gonna try and grab enough purified water to hopefully last us the early game, just to, you know, really help us and just kind of keep us active and working. So we fill up all those, which will hopefully help us later, and we get on the move. Now, I was slightly afraid of the rad roaches because, I mean, I was just terrified, and I kind of was the whole game, the whole start, because, well, I've never played survival, and I don't know, I treat it like the boogeyman the first time I play it. I do on most hard games. So we luckily made it through pretty easy, and I started kind of loosening up because I realized this is not as hard as I was making it into. And we're actually getting a lot of rad roach meat, which will hopefully, you know, play into us having a lot more water and stuff that we can, okay, well, you know, a lot more water that we can use. We also do get the 10mm pistol, which, since I haven't spec'd into anything, and this isn't like a can you beat Fallout 4 with only video, which are amazing, but I don't have that amount of skill. So I am just gonna, you know, go on, grab ammo, and get out. Now the good thing is with rad roaches, and I will give you this kind of a hint that I've learned. If you stay like right here, it's super easy to stay hidden and kill most of the rad roaches without much difficulty, which will, for one, give you a lot of meat, and for two, keep you from possibly getting diseases and things like that you can get from being attacked by animals. So, you know, we go through and we did get a lot of rad roach meat, which will help us keep from being peckish, and that will keep us from using stim packs, which make us weak immuno boys. So we're gonna have that strong immune system. Now, past that, you know, we go through and I'm gonna go get the Pip-Boy. Now, I do want to go over some stuff before I start this video. Well, I've already started it, obviously, but before we go out and start setting up, I'm not quite sure what faction I'm going to go with, and I kind of, if you do have like one faction y'all would really enjoy me to go with, I'll look into it. Like if y'all put down there y'all really want me to go with the Minutemen per se, just because they're the first one that comes to mind, then I'll go with them. But if y'all don't, then I'm probably just going to try and pick them from more of a gameplay perspective than an ideological one. So if I go for a bad faction, don't say like, well, I'm favoring some bad folk. It's just, I'm just, you know, simply picking what I think will be the best. So first off, we got to get out of here, but I think the plan for today's video is going to be for me to go and get some video of, well, get some video and do for just getting a base set up, because no matter, you have to take it a lot slower in survival mode than you can in regular mode, so we have to kind of ease into it, you know, not just jump in and barrel in head first. I think we need to kind of slowly ease into it and just let ourselves, you know, get acclimated to it, you know, go clear it out city by city. Don't try and just, you know, make a beeline to Diamond City. We're going to try and, you know, slowly build up and slowly get stronger and just slowly, because that's the best way to describe it. It's just, we're going to have a slow approach to a lot of this. Now, I'm not playing with any mods, so, you know, I can't just, well, I've got console commands, but I'm not going to use them. So, well, unless something bad happens and I'm like stuck in a wall, but that's not important. So, anyway, I do, you know, this is a pretty straightforward playthrough. We're going to be slow about it, so don't expect me to, like, next video be going and, oh, we'll speed rush to Diamond City. No, like, literally this video, I didn't even go to Concord, just to let y'all know. Like, this is a setup video. So this is going to be a lot slower tactically. You know, we're going to be trying to slowly ease through it and pick our perks and and I really want to try and make this into a real good just series and have some fun with it. And now I won't be covering much lore in this video, any of these videos. This is going to be more for gameplay. If you do want me to go back to doing lore videos, tell me and I'll work on that with another character with different attributes and things that I would find more useful for, well, lore videos instead of survival, which, yes, there is such thing as a character build for lore, and I'm not going to get into it here because it's actually pretty simple, but I just don't really want to fool with it. So, I think the big plan is for today is I want to set up a base of operations, you know, some walls, a decent enough area where I have a cook station. I at least do want to get the area around the Sanctuary Hills cleaned out, you know, get all the bugs killed, at least destroy some of the houses, scrap a bunch of stuff, empty out some of the chest and safes, can't think of words right now, to go and just try and, you know, get all that and get it to where we can set up and go. Now, I'm not even going into the story. So if you're just waiting for the story, like, you know, probably the next video will be going into more like into the railroad or Minutemen, or, you know, well, not anybody but the Minutemen, because I'm not near any of the other ones. But, you know, just doing some quests and going into and doing. So today's video is going to be a lot more about scrapping, setting up a base, getting water, cleaning things out. So it's not going to be exactly, you know, riveting the whole time, but it'll at least be something to watch and do and enjoy. Okay, so as you see, we go back through the fence. I'm a little sad that I don't see a minigun and power armor, even though that would be completely overpowered. I don't quite care. Now, I have no idea how to make a lot of stuff, and I didn't quite learn in this video how to do a bunch of stuff with like the chemistry station. So if you see me just collecting something and you're like, well, that's a useless plant, like you can only make some weak health item with it, don't judge me. I just am grabbing everything because I don't know what things do right now. Now, of course, we do have to go through the deal with Cogsworth, which will help us clear out a lot of this little area, this little town, I guess is what I'm going to call it, because it's easier to say town. So, you know, we give him some comfort and like, well, you're still here. Now, I will say something. I think Cogsworth could be useful because he can be a companion, but I'm going to take dog meat because I know I can get the Lone Wanderer perk, and it'll kind of help me with some of my buffs and things like that. And just plus dog meat's awesome and everybody should like him. So I probably won't pick up Cogsworth unless like I'm going to a fight where I know I'm going to need somebody a little more powerful than dog meat, but by that point I'll have some better companions than him. So anyway, I think Cogsworth is just going to be a permanent picture in this. Now, I probably will do some work for the Minutemen in this game just because I do intend to set up some settlements to allow myself, you know, beds and things of that nature to keep me rested up, because the only other option I really intend to take with this one, it's either that or I'm going to have to, you know, go buy a bunch of properties in different areas or actually just build them up on my own, which is a little less easy. So I might go with the Minutemen if it's just me, and however, if y'all say y'all want me to go with a different faction, I'll do it, because I don't know, sometimes y'all's input makes it a lot more interesting. So, you know, we go through, be shocked and all. No, I do plan for one thing though, is I'm hoping that within a decent amount of time, we can at least get one settlement to the point that it's producing enough purified water that I can even sell some. Which you might say, well, that's easy. Well, I have to get power, you have to get all these things. Now, to get enough for me will be fine, but I'd also like to get a decent farm going, things of that nature. So I'm definitely going to need some settlers, and probably will at some point try and get like the local leader perk and things of that nature, which will allow me to, you know, set up shops and things of that nature, which will kind of allow me to be a lot less dependent on scavenging in the wasteland. And, you know, the more scavenging to do, the more you get shot at, the more you get bit, the more likely you are going to get sick. So this is going to be a more, how do I put this, settlement focused playthrough than some people who might be siding with others. Even if I do side with like Institute, Railroad, Brotherhood of Steel, I'm still going to probably build up some settlements just so I can, you know, use them to my advantage. Even if I don't side with the Minutemen and use them as quests, I might just set them up for myself. So anyway, we're gonna go do that, and just hopefully it will be just set up and be able to go. Now we at least get to go on and get him to help us clear out the neighborhood. And I was a little shocked at one thing. Now, I wasn't at full health, but I was shocked at the amount of damage that bloat flies do. So I'm ready to see like the raiders and all that in Quincy. Not Quincy. I'll think of it later. But anyway, so yeah, Concord. So in Concord, there'll be raiders and things like that, which will be interesting. But the bloatfly did a decent little bit of damage, so this is going to be an interesting playthrough, boys and females, if y'all are watching. I mean, I didn't exactly start out with a lot of health, but that still was a lot more damage than I was hoping for. So anyway, I think that we're definitely going to need to try and salvage some armor from maybe some dead raiders and stuff, so we can at least get some DT, or who knows, maybe even stay around the base and just kind of see if we can scrap enough to find some leather armor, you know, just take out some randomly spawning stuff. But I am just kind of nervous a little bit to see how this is going to go with some of the stronger enemies, especially like Death Claws and the Glowing Sea and all that. It's going to be daunting, but luckily we do at least get power armor, which is very good for rad prevention and pretty good armor and stuff like that pretty early. So I am glad to see that we'll at least get some benefits pretty early. Now, I'm not going to say that that's going to make it easy, but it will make it more bearable. Now, we've got a lot of it cleared out with Codsworth, so I can get my bloatfly meat and all that, which will help me craft food, which is a big thing in this one, because stim packs, if you've played this, you'll know, actually lower your, I think it's like it's immunosuppressant. I'm trying to think of it. It suppresses your immune system, so it's going to make it to where it's more likely for us to get sick and do, which I just don't want to fool with. And that's going to kind of just be a pain in the butt. So we're going to try and kind of stay off stim packs unless we're in a bad way. Now hopefully we can, you know, there are rad stags that spawn around here, and you can actually get traps later on in the game, which will be useful. So I am hoping for to later on build traps and kind of be able to, you know, supply myself with food and do, which will be good. So as you see, we go into the crazy scrapping mode, which I'm just going to talk over, and might cut out some. I'm not quite too sure. Depends on how much I want to talk and do. Now, there's one thing that I do want to say. I'm going to scrap most of this town just to make one building. Now, I'm of course not going to waste all of my stuff on one building, but I do intend to kind of make one good building and just leave it at that. So I think I'm going to pause it right here and just, you know, go scrap a little stuff, and I'll be right back. Okay, so now that we've gotten some of that scrapping done, you see I've set up a basic outline of what I'm going to set up. And it may look odd right now, but you'll see what I'm about to do after a little bit of tinkering. So we're going to put up some walls, kind of make it a little fort style building. Now I do intend to add on a lot more, you know, than this, but this is just kind of a starter building. It'll be big enough to house me, house all my stuff, even some workshops that I intend to move in here from outside, so I have them all in one place. And it'll just be kind of, you know, one of those versatile areas that I can use for a whole lot of stuff. So I am naming it Fort Protopia, because I'm keeping with the theme of cringy YouTube channel stuff. I don't know why, I'm just in a mood. So, we've got our setup. Now, here was my first problem, my only problem with it. I had to find a door that would work. Like, you know, all these doors just look ugly. Then I found it. That door, because I don't have power set up, so I can't make a power door, which I intend to add later. So as you see, we now have the illustrious Fort Protopia setup. Now, unfortunately, I do not have enough cloth for... Well, no, I do. I thought I didn't have enough cloth for a bed, so I do. So now we've got our bed made, so we can get a little nap, get our first save in, which will be nice, you know. Just get everything up and running. So I think for most of this rest of this video, I'm just going to do a little looting and doing. But anyway, guys, this is going to be the start for a video. And just going to be start a video series for doing survival, just having fun and enjoying it. So guys, anyway, if you enjoyed this video, please leave a like. And I'm going to be back making videos more often now because it's, well, getting into December. It's going to be December when I upload this video. So, I'm getting back into making videos. I'm sorry I took a little time off, but it was just, there was other pressing matters. So, guys, I hope y'all have a great day, and goodbye.